God is so in control of my life, and I completely, wholeheartedly believe that and have faith in everything that I've gone through and everything that I know that I'm going to have to deal with. I sit back and find rest and peace in the fact that, I don't need to freak out no matter what's happening.
Welcome to the Evolutionofarose podcast, where we are obsessing over being and becoming our best and higher selves. I'm your host, Meline Rose, and if you're new here, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, especially if you love and enjoy growth-minded and intentional conversations. And if you are a returning viewer, as always, welcome back to the Evolution. Today, we are joined by another special guest. We're joined by a singer, songwriter, and R&B princess signed to Slip and Slide Records, the same label that's home to Miami legends Trick Daddy and Teenear. You may recognize her from MTV's Siesta Key or from her hit single Moment featuring Rick Ross. But today, we're stepping away from the stage to get to know the woman behind the music, who she is, how she's evolving, and what it truly means for her to embody a woman being her. Teenear, welcome to the Evolution.
Thank you for having me, and I love that. I love everything you said.
Yes, thank you so much for being here. I'm super excited to dive into this conversation with you because I honestly feel as though many people don't know much about who you are.
All right.
Yeah. So I want to know, in this season, you have a series on Instagram titled Ungatekeeping Your Life, right? Mm-hmm. In this season of being her, do you feel like you are becoming more of who you really are or unlearning who you never were?
That's a really good question, actually. I feel like it's a little mix of both. Mm-hmm. The whole purpose of me starting that whole series was because I found myself in a space where there was so much more that I wanted to share of myself, but I kind of built a platform on just being an artist. And so many people on my platform supported me by, this is her music. She posts about her music. Mm-hmm. And when I wanted to get to a point where it's there's so many other things I want to talk about or post about, I was it's a little weird. How are they going to take it the right way? Mm-hmm. And it just made me realize I need to stop overthinking my life, and I need to get to a space where I want people to know who I am. Yeah. There's so much more to me, and there's so much more that I could do. I'm not just a singer. There's a lot that I know God has instilled in me, and that there's just a bigger purpose to my life, my story, my brand.
So what has that process been like for you? Because you grew up in, again, you're at the Slip and Slide label where you pretty much grew up in music and then became an artist. And ultimately, it seems as though your entire life has been music and your identity has been attached to music, especially with who your father is. So I wonder, what has that process been like, detaching from, not necessarily detaching, but allowing the world to see more of who you are outside of music?
It's crazy that you mentioned that because up until I did the show with Siesta Keys, I actually never spoke about my family at all. I never really brought people into that side of my life because I grew up looking at artists like, Beyonce, Mariah Carey, Britney Spears, and Christina Aguilera. There was so much about them as artists that it was like a mystery. We didn't know a whole bunch of stuff about their lives, and it was very curated. So coming into the industry, for me and all the people around me, my mentors, my father, it was, you don't need to say everything about your life. Let's make sure that what we put out, we've thought it out, everything's planned. And that was always my mindset about being an artist. And as things evolved, the world, social media, it made me realize that that's not this, we're not playing the same game anymore. Yeah. And I wanted to not just be building a persona. I wanted to start building a brand. I wanted people to come in and really get to know me. And I felt like it was a space where I needed to start choosing myself and start listening to myself. So yeah.
Ooh, that is good. And I wonder for you, has it been a challenge from going from private, being someone who usually gatekeeps themselves, to wanting to be more open? Has it been challenging for you in any way?
It's been so much of a struggle because I am like genuinely, if you're not like my super close friend, like you wouldn't know my personality based off of most of my past on social media. So when I do get to a point where I want to talk about certain things, I'm like, oh, should I really say that? Or how are people going to take this? Or
Am I saying too much?
Am I saying too much?
Yeah.
And then like also now, social media has so many opinions. Everyone has their own opinions. And I even think about like, am I being tone deaf to the world around us? Like, I don't want to offend anybody. There's so many things that go through my head. But as I'm going through it, I'm like, stop overthinking. Like, let yourself just live in the moment. And even with social media, you feel like you need to post everything about everything that's going on or like at that very moment. And it made me step back and say, no, like if I'm going on vacation, I don't need to post my vacation right now. I can post it when I get back home. I want to live in these moments, enjoy these moments, and also share what, you know, I took from those moments, but live in it.
And what has living in the moment, what has that been teaching you about life?
A lot of people don't live life when we look at social media all day.
Yeah.
Because
you're watching other people live theirs.
You're watching other people, and it's like, if you don't take that step back for yourself, you're going to just be in a cycle of like a matrix of like following other people, not even understanding yourself if you don't step back and enjoy the moment. It's not always about a post. It's not about going viral all the time. It's like, the world around you and the people around you. Time is so precious and we never know when that's going to be over. So like, I really just value the time that I have with everyone around me and even with myself. And that's been important.
You bring up a great point in regards to how social media influence us, because oftentimes when we're watching other people's lives, so often we start to feel as though that's how we should be living. And then their desires become our desires. And then one day you wake up and you're living a life that really isn't yours for real. You know what I mean? Like it's the lives of people that you've been watching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have to take that step back for yourself because you're, like I said, you're going to be just living in this world of just social media, and you're probably not going to really understand yourself until you take that step back. And yeah, it's just too much going on. Like, you need that time.
Yeah. So I wonder, what has your process of self-discovery looked like, considering that you grew up in an industry where you were told that mystery sells, you know what I mean? Yeah. So mystery sells, and the best way to be an artist is to be mysterious. So I'd like to think that growing up in that type of industry, it didn't allow you space to become who you were because the world told you who you should have been. So I wonder what the process of self-discovery looked like. Or I could be wrong. Maybe there wasn't.
No, there was a process where it happened in the moments of me technically not doing anything, where in the sense of like, maybe I wasn't putting out music at the time. For me, 2020 was a year that a lot of things changed for me because we were all home. We were all stuck inside. And you were either watching social media or like doing something productive on yourself. So
everybody was in 2020.
Yeah, there was a lot going on. So I feel like that time for me, I reflected on so much that I did in the past. And so like in that moment, I realized like most of my career was based off of me listening to everyone around me, not necessarily like it wasn't a negative, but I realized I wasn't putting myself first or like listening to my intuition and like what truly made me feel good. During that time, it made me think of like, oh my gosh, it's 2020 right now. Where am I going from this moment? Because at that time I was putting out music, but I was still like in a space of like not being, I'm not going to say happy, but not completely satisfied with everything that was going on. And I started to panic a little bit. And during that time, I reflected on the fact that a 2 years before that, I got into a really bad car accident. And I was actually putting out a song that during that whole car accident, I was listening to the song during the time when it happened. So that accident for me reminded me that I don't need to panic. And it's an emotional thing for me because God is so in control of my life, and I completely wholeheartedly believe that and have faith in everything that I've gone through and everything that I know that I'm going to have to deal with. I sit back and find rest and peace in the fact that I don't need to freak out no matter what's happening. That accident just reminded me that I am not in control of my life at the end of the day. Everything that happens up until even this point was for a reason. It's all divine purpose. And I just need to remember that in every moment. I genuinely find peace in that when I might freak out in a second, because that's just what I stand on and truly believe in.
First and foremost, I'm sorry that you even went through that. And I can understand the trauma that you experienced. And I wonder, was there an attachment for you between you listening to the song and then that happening?
Not necessarily. Well, I guess in a sense, because that was what I was listening to in that very moment. And, music is my life. So every time I think about that moment and just think about how I felt in that moment, and I always repeat, don't panic, because in that specific moment for me, I remember I didn't scream, nothing. I didn't express anything. It was kind of literally all I heard was God speak to me. And I'll never forget the verse, Isaiah 41, 10 and 13, where it's basically just don't panic. I'm with you, be at peace. And that for me is just something that I carry throughout my life because of that. And since that song was playing, it's just every time I listen to that song and every time I think of that moment, because music was so was really the only thing I was standing on at the time. That's important.
So it seems like you're in a season of true God-ordained alignment. That's what it seems like.
Yeah, for sure. 1,000%.
Well, I'm happy that you're here.
Yeah.
So let's talk about, choosing yourself and the fear of being seen, because for so long you were gatekeeping your life. I wonder, was there any fear in that? Was there something that you were afraid people would see?
Definitely. And for me, I feel from the beginning of it, it started with my whole dad. I never ever spoke on my dad being who he is, because I never wanted to step into a space where people just think all of this was handed to me or prejudge me in a certain way. And so I never introduced myself or ever spoke on it. And yeah, a lot of people don't even know my dad never wanted me to do any of this. Still doesn't. Still doesn't want me to do this. And it was something that I really had to show that meant something to me. And that was really the start of it all, where it's just if I say too much, people might, misinterpret what I'm trying to say. And I recently had an experience where it was because they knew so much about my past already, going into this situation with, actually it was a new mentor and type of, in a certain way. That person had already had, from what I believe, just a thought of what I could be, or who they thought just a thought of who I could be before actually getting to know me. So it created a block in me even being able to learn from that person. In their mind, they already had their own, perception of who I am. And there's a lot of people that I feel get to really know me now, and they're just oh, I didn't think this, or you're doing this differently. And I'm yeah, hi.
And do you feel like you meet a lot of people, come into your life with one, preconceived notions, and two, people who don't even give you the space to be who you really are because of those preconceived notions.
1,000%. In every realm of my life, even like dating, like I don't like dating anybody that knows anything about me or my family, because like I feel like you just have too many thoughts already going on in your head, and it's just not right.
Yeah, and I can only imagine, because even for myself, I don't even have the level of visibility that you do, but even for myself, I find myself not even wanting to share my Instagram because of those preconceived notions. You know what I mean? So I can only imagine what that level is like for you, you know, and how you like even navigate that.
Yeah. And, you know, people are going to have their opinions. You can't avoid it. But if I can, I try to. But if you know, it's like whatever. I try to work my way through it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in choosing yourself, what is a hard truth that you've had to accept?
I feel like for me, it's kind of similar in the sense of like the people that I may have been working with or even friends, kind of, where I have my own thoughts, I have my own ideas. And if we just don't align on certain beliefs, certain things, it's like I have to be okay with it. It's not the end of the world. And ultimately, the stuff that I stand on is what I'm standing on for me. And I'm not judging anybody for it. It's just we have different beliefs and we stand on different things, and that's okay. That's, I wouldn't say it's a hard truth, but that's just one of the truths where there's no need to argue with people about your own beliefs. They're yours.
You know what? That part. And there's no need to try to convince someone that your beliefs are the right way. It's like, no, you're allowed to have your own thoughts and opinions, and so am I. I love that.
Yeah. That's been a big one for me, because there's so many things that, you know, I sit with myself and I think about, I sit with God and I pray about, and not everyone's going to be aligned with everything that you believe in. But, you know, I still love everybody. We all have our own paths and our own purposes.
You talk a lot about God, and you talk a lot about faith. Have you always been a faith-driven person? Have you always like kept God at the center of who you are?
Yes, I feel like I grew up in the church like my entire life, but for me, it was actually like when I switched churches, and also going back to the car accident, I just feel like that for me was just a big shift in my life, where I realized like a lot of stuff doesn't matter if you're not doing it for the right reasons. And for me, this was my right reason, and just finding peace and alignment in certain things, it just all stemmed from me keeping God at the center of my life, and just standing on things, standing on what I truly believe in, and, you know, just going with it.
Because we see how the industry can take you every which way, right? Especially if you don't have an anchor. And I wonder if you are who you are today, you know, poised, solid, confident.
Thank you.
I wonder if that's because you've always had God at the center.
Possibly. I actually, yeah, I think it is. Because like you said, the industry is crazy, actually. There's so much that goes on.
I don't even want to hear the stories.
There's so much that goes on. And if you don't know who you are and you don't have something that you're standing on, like literally, you could get caught up in anything.
Easily, I've heard.
Easily. And trust me, there have been moments where I've been in situations where I'm like, And then I'm like, nah,
it's not worth it. Like, even being placed in the position to even consider it, you know what I mean? But the fact that you choose the opposite option, that's really good.
Yeah.
That's really good.
I feel like that was definitely growth, though, because younger Teenear, you know, she's done some things. And then, you know, now as a woman, just knowing just more about who I am and like how I see myself, there's just been so many different things that I just know, no, I'm not doing that.
And what do you wish that people knew about you?
That's actually a good question. I never really thought about that. This is probably not even like a big deal, but I'm very like, I'm very corny and like shy and like a little weird. And it's not until like I have like real, just like, you know, random conversations with people that they wouldn't know that. Cause I feel like I do come off sometimes as just like very like
reserved.
Yeah. And I feel like I'm not all the time, but I don't know why I give off that.
You think you give off reserve? I feel as though that's also a way of protecting yourself. You know what I mean?
It could be.
It's also a way of keeping those who are looking to maybe take advantage of you, you know? Because if you're someone who has a great heart, if you're someone who is naturally open, I feel as though it's okay to be reserved presenting, to keep the people who would just take advantage of you away and attract the people who actually want good for you into your life, you know?
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. It could be a way of protection, but I'm honestly like a really strange individual, and I love that about myself.
You keep saying that. What does strange look like, though? Like, what is strange?
Honestly, I've been keeping myself from saying the word interesting, but I love just saying interesting, or like when I find things just, you know, different, like interesting is my word. And it's really just like, there's no definition for it. It's just different.
Yeah.
It's just different.
Okay. What is one thing that is different to you? Like, that you think would be considered, I guess, odd?
I really don't feel like there's a definition to it. It's kind of just, we're all supposed to be different.
Yeah.
So,
You just made me think about myself. Like I know, like when I'm behind the closed doors with family, I'm like the most quirkiest person. And like,
to all of my family members, like everybody, they think I'm the odd child. I'm not gonna lie. I'm the middle child. They know that when they speak to me, something weird might come out, and it's just like, that's Teenear.
I love that though, because we all need a sense of individuality, because that's literally what makes us who we are. Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing more of that come out in your gatekeep in your life.
Yes.
Yeah, but I know you're still in the early stages, so it may come out like later.
Yeah, it'll be soon.
I want to get into the conversation of dating. So we were at an event together back in October, and I remember you mentioning something that was interesting to me, because I'm also on the same journey. I was like, oh, wow. Really interesting. So, and it's on the topic of abstinence. And abstinence is such a sacred thing. And I wonder, did you intentionally choose this path, or is it something that you were somewhat forced into?
It was something that at that point, which is so crazy that you brought this up, because today actually makes 4 years.
Wow.
Which is insane.
Wow.
I know. And I was like, for me at the time, it wasn't a decision that I made like immediately. It was kind of something that why'd you do?
It's never gonna be immediate.
No,
it's something like yeah.
Yeah, it was like something where I was like, I started to realize that I've always been the type of girl where it's like a relationship and you're my person and this comes with it. Yeah. And I realized how vulnerable that made me. And just like reflecting back, being that vulnerable is precious to me as well.
Yeah.
I just realized I wanted to make sure that the next person that I decide to be that vulnerable with, like, is 100% my person. And I think about like, Teenear, are you gonna be celibate?
Sometimes it does feel like that, right? Because when you make that decision and then it's like longer than you expect, you're like, hold on.
Yeah.
Or is that, or do you mean in a different sense that you might consider?
It's really just now, like I'm questioning myself, like celibacy, the path that you want to be on, where it's like 100%, like I'm waiting for my husband, like that's really important to me as days go on and I meet people. Like dating sucks. Dating sucks. And it made me realize, like, if you're not talking about certain things, or like certain things aren't happening, a lot of guys my age, like y'all have nothing to talk about and nothing interesting, really, if that's not on the table.
That's so good.
Yeah, it made me recognize that. And I was just like, there's so much more that I want to make sure that I have in my person that when I was having sex, that I didn't necessarily pay attention to. Like that could create such a blinder in a relationship that like you don't recognize until you step out of it and start like experiencing different people. And it just became important to me to just protect myself, protect, you know, my vulnerability, and you know, just wait for the right person. Yeah.
You bring up a good point. So do you feel as though being abstinent or taking sex off the table, do you feel as though that has made you less lustful and you were able to see people a bit more clearly?
1,000%. And like I said, the conversations are just different.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there's no scapegoat. Like we got to really look at each other and learn each other, and that's what it's supposed to be.
That's what it's supposed to be.
That's what it's supposed to be. There is an order to things, and we've chosen to not follow that order, but there's an order, and it was made for a reason, clearly. And yeah, so the more I go through it, I'm like, yeah, I think I might be waiting for my husband for real.
Yeah, because sex is absolutely sacred. And I feel as though the longer one is abstinent, the more you realize how sacred it is and why you shouldn't be sharing it with just anyone. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And like I said, to me, like I realized it just made me more vulnerable. It made me ignore things that I should not be ignoring. It made me accept things that I shouldn't be accepting. And in a way, I kind of feel like stepping back from it also changed my standards, not in like a tush way, but like it just made me naturally navigate through men differently, because I look at different things now. I'm really checking your heart posture. I'm checking like the things you believe in, the things you stand on, and are we able to have conversations that actually are meaningful? And even like to this day, it doesn't feel like I'm removing something, or like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like restricting myself from something. It's actually like protecting me, and I'm loving it. I'm not mad at it at all.
You actually don't have the taste for that if it's not God-centered and with someone that you actually love. So like the taste is different.
The taste is so different, and I recognize that whenever I'm talking to anybody. I'm like, maybe not.
Yeah, maybe not. Yeah. In talking about heart posture and speaking with people who have substance, what is meaningful to you?
In dating?
In dating or in relationships in general, what is meaningful to you?
I feel like your character, how you treat people, how you also like navigate through relationships, not only in an actual like relationship with somebody, but like other people outside of me and you. Like when we have conversations, if you're talking about somebody else, how are you thinking about navigating through that situation? If somebody did you wrong, does your mind, like your first thought go to doing something back or navigating in a way that can, you know, help you or align you in a space that, you know, is more positive, or align that person in a positive space? Like just somebody's character and their values is like super important to me.
That's good that you pay attention to that, because who you're dating, it goes beyond how they treat you. You know, it's about how they're treating the waiter, their mother, people in their lives, people that can't even do anything for them. You know what I mean? That's where the heart posture really reflects, you know?
Yeah, like, oh my God, I hate nothing more than when somebody is rude to waiters. Like, there's no reason to be rude to waiters.
Like, it's not that serious.
It's never that serious.
It's never that serious.
It's never that serious. So like, that's like one thing that for me is like a big like red or green flag. If we go out, how are you treating the waiter? They're a person too. If they do something wrong, like we don't have to OD it. Like, calm down.
Yeah, relax.
Yeah. That's even in friendships too, because I've gone out with people and like, you know, we're going on like a little lunch date. If you're rude to waiters, I'm like, you probably might not be the best person to always be around, because you don't treat people great all the time. Yeah. I think about stuff like that.
And if you're seeing someone treat someone poorly, but they're treating you with a certain level of respect, just know that you will eventually have your day as well when that person will treat you poorly, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's really good. Yeah. That's really good. That's really how you see the true measurement and character of someone's heart, for real, for real.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a big pointer right there.
Yeah. What do you think abstinent has taught you about God?
I feel like God rewards obedience. And I feel like my obedience has saved me from a lot of bad situations that I may not have obviously gone through, but just reflecting in the past, like I could have taken some different steps and things could have ended up in a different situation. And yeah, it's just taught me that God rewards obedience. And sometimes you don't always want to listen. But, there's some protection there. And like I said, there's an order to things and there's an order for a reason. So I'm just living in faith and believing that.
That's good.
Obedience is going to get me where I need to go.
Yeah. I'm believing in that too. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was so good to hear about like your journey. I didn't know that.
Yeah. I mean, you wouldn't know. I know. You wouldn't know. And actually, I ain't gonna give a number.
Okay.
But yeah, and it's been intentional because when I chose to be on this journey, it was because I was tired of feeling misused in a way or used solely for that.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I'm done with this. The next time I engage, it's gonna be with someone who absolutely loves, adores me. You know what I mean? It's not just going to be a physical thing. It's going to be a spiritual thing, So I'm still trusting in that because honestly, I wouldn't want it any other way. Yeah, I don't even have the taste for it unless it's packaged in a way that I feel honored and that God is at the center and it feels real. You know what I mean? Like, and it's not that serious. It's not that serious.
We make it so much more than it is.
It's not that serious.
It's not.
Listen,
I love that.
I was on a podcast a couple of weeks ago and I said that. I'm like, bro, like sex is not that serious. Like y'all make it. I feel as though when you choose to preserve yourself for someone who is worthy, you start to realize how what you were doing, what was that?
You have those, I know you have those moments where like a random thing just flashes through a flashback and you're just like, what? Why? I cringe. I have my cringe moments all the time.
Yeah. And I feel as though only people who have decided to be abstinent and be more intentional with how they give themselves would understand,
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's my journey.
I love that. Yeah. And even like now, like, cause obviously my friends are not abstinent and I'm not judging nobody for anything.
It's cool. Yeah.
So like we have conversations and I'm just like, if you really understood how crazy you sound right now.
No, like that's wild.
You have a blinder
wild. Yeah.
Right now. And I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
And I try to like, I'm the one my friends come to for advice all the time. Used to hate it, but now I'm like, it is what it is. And, I tell them what it is and they tell me these stories and I'm just like, wow. No.
Yeah, no. But everyone has their journey. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
everyone
exactly.
It's like you have to, allow them to go through their process.
Exactly.
Since we are on the topic of, God and abstinence, I wonder, in what ways have you been allowing God to lead you in this season?
I feel like like I said, just having a firm foundation in my faith. Like, no matter what happens to me, no matter if it's positive or negative, like just 100% standing on like that my life was already written.
Yeah.
Like I cannot be in control of the uncontrollables. I have to just literally let go and let God lead me. Obviously, do the things that I need to do as a woman, as an artist, as the brand that I am building and letting go, letting God lead me.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that. I'm honestly really looking forward to you popping out more and vlogging more because you were in Thailand. You were in the countries that are on my bucket list. I'm like, look at her living her best life. I'm looking forward to seeing all of that type of content.
Yes, I got you.
Yes. As you evolve, what's one thing about yourself that you hope never changes?
My positivity. I tend to try and look at things as like the glass half full. There's always going to be negative people around you and you can let that shape you if you allow it to. And I just hope to always hold on to just trying to be positive in every situation and just not letting negativity take over.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. And is that something that you do through your faith and relationship with God, or are you also like in therapy?
No, it's mainly through my relationship with God. I want to get into therapy, but it's really just taking time to pray, listen to God, fasting, and going back to the whole abstinence thing, I feel like that's also shaped my discipline. So
Yes.
yeah, and now I find myself being able to, I could go on those fasts for my spirituality and like being able to hear God and like getting to know what I need to do in whatever moment of my life, or even when it comes to just like my health in general, like I can go on my cleanses and I know it's for me. So like, I don't need to I feel like I'm a very disciplined person when it comes to the things that like really matter to me and just my growth. So
that is good. Yeah. I think abstinence really is a like holistic process. Like once you, I guess, prune that part of your life, other things continue to follow, and you just want to be healthy overall. Finish this sentence. Being her is.
Well, being her requires discipline.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That part. Discipline. Yeah. In all areas.
Everything. That's what our lives are like, are the foundation of our lives. If you're not disciplined, or if you don't stand on certain things in your life, like your life is just up in the air. It could be whatever it can be, whatever it wants to be.
That's good.
Yeah,
I think that's going to be the theme for this episode. Stand on something. Yeah. Well, Teenear, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. And thank you for choosing yourself.
Yes.
Yes. And where can the people follow you?
You can follow me on every social media platform at Teenear. And stay up to date to all my new series and all my travels and my thoughts, and get to know me a little bit more.
Yes, get to know Teenear. And I want you to post more on your YouTube. Oh, YouTube. Yes, bring your content to YouTube. Because I will be oh, you do?
No, I'm gonna bring it.
Okay.
I got you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, thank you all so much for tuning into the Evolution of a Rose podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and click on that notification bell so that way when we post the new episode, such as this one with Teenear and I, you are the first one to be notified. Thank you all so much. Until next time. Bye.